Hi, my name is Micah.
Gabe Geiger.
It's Benjamin Hargrove.
Kate Geiger.
Joshua Grilla.
I am in 4th grade and I am in First Lego League.
I was in FLL last season.
I'm part of the FTC program.
I was the lead programmer on one of our FTC teams.
As a subsystem lead for the high school FRC team.
And I worked on the intake and indexer subteam. This year, our subteam was challenged to create a moving mechanical system that would transport balls from a ground intake up to a hooded shooter on the front of our robot.
This past build season, I worked mainly on getting our 30-second autonomous to work. I am most proud of our use of OpenCV to detect the skystone, which helped us a lot in our competitions. This past season, I went to 4 competitions, and it was interesting to see our robot progress between them. We were able to win 2 awards and also win 1 competition overall, so we were able to move on to states. My favorite memory was at our York qualifier, where our autonomous did very well, even though we weren't on the winning alliance. For this coming first season, I am excited to learn more about programming while working on a much more complex robot. During this COVID-19 pandemic, I've continued to participate with CC4H Robotics by working on the Chassis and Spur project and also learning more about CAD.
This year, I led the team that built the conveyor belt system for the robot. So what we had to suck up dodgeballs, store them in a robot, store up to five of these dodgeballs, and then we had to shoot them into a target. And I was in charge of leading the team to make both the conveyor belt system and the intake system. And there's a lot of collaboration that was involved. This year, our robot was probably more interconnected than any past years. So that was a challenge, especially for me. This was my first year being a team leader, and so I had to learn how to work with the other team leaders, work with the people on my team, and I think I got a little better at it as the season progressed. One of my goals this year was to use belts on the robot. We used a lot of belts on the robot. I learned how to tension belts and how to design around using belts.
I worked on designing a robot for the City Shaper competition. I like the fact that I put tracks on it. The tracks would give the robot more power to push other robots around.
My favorite moment was definitely the first qualifier that we went to. We went completely undefeated. It was absolutely amazing because we had never won, and it was absolutely incredible. So that was definitely my favorite moment from this year. Overall, we had intended for the Miami Valley Regional to be kind of our practice regional where we would get our skills honed in, and we would kind of figure out what do we need to fix, what we need to improve, so that way we could really come out and shine at the Pittsburgh Regional a few weeks later. Unfortunately, that got canceled along with all the other events and the championship due to COVID-19, and that was a really good problem.
Through the COVID-19 pandemic, I have been able to collaborate with other team members in weekly Zoom meetings on off-season projects such as swerve module designs and custom chassis design. We have been able to work on these designs through online CAD and other forms of outside research that has helped us to develop our ideas. Our team also organized CAD training sessions that help students on the team better apply their skills in computer-aided design. Our team has also been looking into ways to reach out to the community as well as our sponsors through this difficult time of self-quarantine.
I started to work on IEEE, but sadly I didn't get very far because of COVID-19. I was hoping to be able to improve on last year's design. I had a lot of fun and gained experience at competitions last year. I'm hopeful that next year I will be able to do and learn more at FTC and also be able to compete in various events.
So during quarantine, we couldn't meet at our build space. We couldn't fix the things that we wanted to fix on the robot. Obviously, we weren't competing anymore, so that threw a wrench in our whole schedule. But what we were able to do is train a lot of our students how to create things using the computer, and that's called CAD.
So one thing that our sister team did, they CAD'ed their entire robot. Nobody on our team knows CAD, like a couple people know a little bit, but we learned so much from the FTC mentoring. I was able to CAD some really cool stuff, like just by myself, and so I'm really excited for next year to put what we learned during quarantine into use.
Our off-season and build season this year will have to be extra cautious to follow safety guidelines and procedures that will help keep everyone safe and minimize the spread of coronavirus. Our team must formulate a comprehensible plan that will minimize the spread of the virus, all while meeting in smaller numbers in person, so we may continue to work on our off-season projects. Following the safety guidelines that we will put into place will be kept in the highest priority when planning future in-person meetings.
I'm very excited that our sister team, they were from Bellefonte and they share our build space. This was their first year and this was our second year, so we help them and we shared parts sometimes. I really want to see them progress as well as us, and we would practice together on a team. And so if we can get to like states and get together on an alliance, we could be really good together because we've practiced a lot. And so I'm excited for that.
I'm excited about entering next year's season, even though it will be much different than in years past. It is a little disappointing that we will be having a similar game to this year's. I hope that with this extra time we will be able to fulfill some projects like Swerve and Custom Chassis that will not only benefit our robot next year, but also for years to come.
I miss handling the robots. I miss building them. I like designing robots.
What I love most about robotics is that I can design something on paper with my teammates and see it come to fruition and progress over the season until it's something more than we could have ever designed in the beginning.